Heads up, FMQ. Last FMQ we talked about a secret of making tomorrow even better than today. Well, this is another secret of making today even better than it might have been. Which means then when you review the day that's gone, it makes tomorrow even better because you're going to review the day that's even... You'll get it. Have a listen.
Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
On the last FMQ, I shared with you a secret. Those silly little secrets that we don't like. But I shared with you a process of making tomorrow even better than it was today. Because if you remember, it was all a matter of just before you go to sleep, just reviewing the day that's gone and looking at the good stuff, the things that you've achieved and things like that. Well, I'm going to share with you another secret, another process, but it's a process my younger son Joseph told me about and what he does. But this is all about making today even better than it might have been. Which, if you think about it, if you have a process that makes today even better than it might have been, and you've also got that process from last FMQ of making tomorrow better than today because you review today, man, what are you going to be capable of? What is your future holding for you? What gold? Become the alchemist and change every moment you have into gold. Anyway, I think I've sold that big enough. So here's the thing. This is what Joseph told me. He said, sometimes when you wake up in the morning, okay, there's people who will jump out of bed and all ready to go. And then other people who take a bit of time. But whichever you are, I'd like you to try this process that Joseph shared with me. And you see, this is all about the field of learning, integrated field of learning. Joseph shared with me. He's still got this process in his mind and he'll develop it and do things. I've got it and he's still got it. And now I'm sharing it to you and you've still got it. So we've all still got it. And it's like this thing. And if you change it a little bit and make it your way, it's even better. And if you share it with somebody else and you share this podcast, all that stuff. But anyway, so what does he do, Paul? Come on, Cluffy, get on with it. Well, so whichever way you get up, just delay it by 30 seconds, 60 seconds to just keeping your eyes closed. Just think of maybe the one or two things that are important to you to do in that day. And as you think of, and don't think of them all at once, we think of them individually. And as you think of that first one, that specific thing you're going to do, just think of how you would like it to be, how you would like to behave, how would you like to feel, what emotions, what beliefs would you like to have, and how would you like the result to be? And when you get that result, how would that feel? And you can do that pretty quickly because you can jump in and out that little movie you're making in your mind as you do that, and make sure it feels just the right way. You know, this thing we called that feeling of the wish fulfilled? And then go on to the next one. And you think of that second thing you'll be doing in the day. How do you want it to end up? What's the goal? What would be the most ideal, bestest result for you in that particular time? How would you like to behave and feel going through that particular event? And in the end of it, what would it feel like to have that wish fulfilled? Because each time you do this, you're just sending that little message, subtle message to your best friend, your unconscious mind, who makes it happen, who accesses resources that you need, those emotions. Because if you think about it consciously, you don't suddenly think, you know what, I'm going to be super confident. Because you're not. You don't do that. You either are that super confident, and I don't like super confidence, I like supreme inner confidence and competence. But that's just an example. But you just have a feeling, because you don't turn it on consciously. You can't, the emotions are the domain of your unconscious mind. Or the unconscious mind is the domain of your emotions. That's a better way of putting it, Paul. In fact, that's the right way of putting it. So you'd have that, and you telling your unconscious mind, this is what I'd like to have. And then, when you finish those 60 seconds going through those things, you just say to yourself those immortal words, this or something better. Thank you. And let it go. You don't think about it anymore. And what Joseph found, the more he did this, the more better his results were. The more better. That's a wonderful way of saying it, isn't it? The more better was his enjoyment of going through that event in the future, because they weren't as he'd thought about them generally. They were different and subtly better, because his conscious mind can only think of so much. Because remember, you don't know what's impossible. You really don't. Conscious mind doesn't know enough. But so your unconscious mind can then supply you and be with you and find all the resources you want at the right time to make that event, to make that thing that you want to be even better than you could ever imagine. And you see, then if you do the process what we did in the last FMQ, to review it just before you go to sleep, how well they were, and thanking your unconscious mind for doing it, man, your unconscious mind is going to work so wonderfully while you're asleep. So when you wake up and you have that next 60 seconds to imagine how you want your day to go and the things within your day, every day must get better, because you're reviewing the day that's gone to make it better today, and today you're making it even better, which means when you review it, it's going to get even better, and it's a cycle of success. So there you go. Quick as that. One FMQ actually follows the next FMQ, or follows the one before, not the next, because this is the next and that was before. But as you do that, you can really have more fun than you can stand, because you will be having more fun than you can stand. Let me know how you get on with that. I'd love to know how the two complement each other and how your day changes drastically well. Let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. You know my email, it's paul@paulclough.co.uk. Drop a line and we can have a chat about it maybe on this podcast. Anyway, before you go, as usual, please do share whatever you glean from these podcasts. Share the podcast to as many people as you could if you would. It's a lovely way to pay it forward, because it's free, and if we pay it forward, it's a nice way to repay the efforts that everyone is putting in towards this podcast. And everyone is me, by the way. I don't have any help. I am the podcast person here at Personal Development Unplugged. Also know, because you see, this thing about sharing, people, as I said before, we live in our little cocoon sometimes. We put up a little barrier. We show and say to people that, yeah, we're fine. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. But inside, we're not good. The clients I see, when they talk to me about their issues, they say people wouldn't recognize me saying this, because I put on a wonderful act. Not an act as if, but just an act, a facade. That's you faking it. So just remember, because they're not showing you, they may just need this type of thing. And remember, if you've got an issue, please let me know, and I'll see if I can come up with a process or talk around it and let you know how I work with clients around those issues so we can help you. And obviously, if there's a bigger issue, I really suggest you go one-to-one with a good therapist, someone like myself. Well, I work on Zoom and Skype and things like that, but so do many others, and there's a great number of therapists around. So I did a podcast a long time ago about how to choose a good therapist, my way anyway. My thoughts on that, so search that out. You can search that out on the Castbox app. Just search therapist and I'm sure you'll find it. But, if you would, subscribe to this on the podcast app Castbox or iTunes or whichever type of thing you get this on. If you would subscribe and leave a review so more people get to hear about this. That would be great. And lastly, and not leastly, remember, all those free hypnosis tracks are at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Sign in, they're all free, and you get to use them. And have a look around that website. There's lots of other good stuff. There's some nice programs in there. There really are. Have a little look. Doesn't cost you anything to look. Just don't touch. Okay. Anyway, have more fun than you can stand and enjoy every heartbeat.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.